Do you believe that there is a place on Earth where you will never be the same again? A magical world where mountains whisper stories, deep lakes hold millennia-old secrets, and people live slowly as if they have found the answer to every question in life. That is New Zealand, a land of undiscovered miracles and emotions. Have you ever dreamed of coming here? Share in the comments below which place in New Zealand you want to visit the most. New Zealand is located in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, about 2,000 kilometers off the southeast coast of Australia. This country consists of two large islands, the North Island and the South Island, and hundreds of other small islands. Surrounded by vast oceans, New Zealand has a unique geographical location with diverse landscapes from stunning coastlines to majestic mountain ranges. Its isolated location helps it retain a natural beauty and pristine environment that is rare in the world. Imagine a place where you can start your day with the salty breeze from the Pacific Ocean, cross lush green grasslands, and end your day at the top of snow-capped mountains, all within a day's drive. That's not magic. That's New Zealand. The Southern Alps are like an ancient wall of nature, majestic and cold like a piece of the Arctic drifting south. But at the foot of the mountain, the heart is warmed by the endless vineyards, the birthplace of exquisite wines. Each drop seems to contain the soul of New Zealand. Here, nature is not just present, it dominates, it speaks, and it makes you listen. New Zealand does not try to impress. It stuns you with silence, with light, with the feeling of living in an original world, where every detail is incredibly perfect. The North Island with its tropical forests, hot springs and dreamy blue sea. The South Island, like a legendary picture written by the hand of nature, where valleys, glaciers and crystal-clear lakes seem to want to hide the whole universe under their hearts. Here, you do not need to pretend to be alive. You just need to breathe, and then you will feel that you are truly alive. The Maori say their ancestors came to New Zealand in flying boats from the heavens, a myth that science has yet to explain. But as you stand in the rain, listening to the echoes of the haka, a powerful and spiritual warrior dance, you will feel the sacredness and reverence in the air, making your skin crawl not out of fear, but out of a deep connection to its culture and history. New Zealand is a strange and special country. With just over 5 million people and over 25 million sheep, this is a place where nature and humanity live in perfect harmony. You can experience the unique feeling of sleeping in cozy small cabins located between smoldering volcanoes, or enjoy pizza baked with heat from the ground, a unique flavor in the world that can only be found here. And if you want to return to pristine nature, dive into the deep blue lakes, where the bottom of the lake seems endless, making you feel like you are lost in another world. In Rotorua, the sulfurous smell of hot springs is a vivid reminder that the earth still breathes and moves. In Kaikoura, giant whales appear in the water, like ancient prophets from the ocean, making you look up, admiring the greatness and mystery of nature here. New Zealand is not just a destination, but a journey of discovery, where you immerse yourself in every breath, every sound and story of the land and sky. Queenstown is not just a capital of thrills, it is also a philosophy of life that is very New Zealand. When you bungee jump from a high cliff, or fly over a valley in a helicopter, your heart is not simply pounding with adrenaline, but because you are feeling every vibrant beat of life, every breath of the majestic nature that surrounds you. And when the sunset falls on the surface of Lake Wakatipu, that moment not only leaves you speechless with the stunning beauty, but also makes you deeply understand the preciousness of life. Not far away, Hobbiton opens up a world of vivid imagination. This is not just a film set of magical stories, but a real village, where every brick, every tree tells a story. People still live, garden and preserve the village soul like a fairy tale that never ends. And you, sitting down to a pint in a dwarf pub, will feel a special connection, as if you are part of that magical world. Queenstown and Hobbiton are not just destinations, they are places where you find yourself, living each moment to the fullest. New Zealand is not only famous for its magnificent scenery, but also a symbol of progress and global responsibility. This is the first country in the world to grant women the right to vote, opening a new era of equality and social justice. Not stopping there, New Zealand is also a leader in the fight to protect the environment, when more than 96% of the country's electricity is produced from renewable energy sources, an admirable figure that many other countries are still striving towards. They have declared climate war not as a fancy slogan, but as a command from the depths of their conscience, a commitment to protect the earth for future generations. The New Zealand government does not need to shout loudly about its achievements, because that proud silence resonates like thunder, strong, and cannot be overwhelmed. This is a small country on the map, but carries great strength and responsibility, a testament to the wonderful harmony between humans and nature. What do you think of a place that is not only beautiful but also a leader in protecting the planet? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. Have you ever imagined that pristine nature only exists in books or documentaries? Come to Milford Sound, where waterfalls flow from the clouds, creating a magical mist. There, dolphins gently swim beside the boat, like friendly guides, inviting you to explore the magical world that nature has to offer. Or come to Franz Josef Glacier, where giant icebergs slowly slide down the middle of the jungle, as if whispering to you, "I'm still here, never disappearing." At night, when darkness covers the sky and earth, kiwi birds, the typical symbol of New Zealand, still quietly wander in the forest, preserving the wild nature. And by Lake Tekapo, the brilliant lupin flowers stretch out to show off their colors, like streaks of fairy colors falling from a dream, making anyone stunned by its wonderful beauty. New Zealand is not just a destination, but an encounter with never-ending natural stories, a journey that touches the hearts of those who yearn for the pristine, the majestic, and deeply feel the pure beauty of our planet. The Maori do not simply see land as property, but as their ancestors. Their spirits are present in every mountain, every river, every deep green forest. Each place name carries within it a legendary story, a spiritual mirror, making the land not only a place but also the lifeblood of the entire community. The Te Reo language, once threatened with extinction, is now revived not out of responsibility or obligation, but out of a deep love for its roots. The New Zealand children today sing the national anthem in Maori not simply as a performance, it is the beating of their hearts, a connection of flesh and blood with their ancestors, with their country. That love makes the language not only spoken, but also lived, felt every day in every breath of the Maori and all New Zealanders. This is a testament to the power of culture, not just to preserve, but to live, to breathe, and to pass on to future generations. In New Zealand, life is not limited to any stereotype. You can witness one person meditating peacefully on the beach, immersed in the silence of nature, while right next to them, another person is splashing on the ocean waves, free and intense. The story of a couple walking through the forest to propose shows love and a deep connection with nature. At the same time, a group of talented musicians are recording in the heart of an ice cave, where music blends with the echoes of the ice and snow, creating wonderful melodies. New Zealand does not force you to choose a way of life, but opens up a free space for you to explore, to find yourself, whoever you are or whatever story you carry. This is the place where you can live truly, live fully. In New Zealand, time is not an enemy or a clock that keeps ticking away every second. Here, you don't need to ask what time it is because time doesn't flow as we think, but rather melts away, gently and warmly like the gentle early winter sunlight covering the vast fields of sheep. People here don't race against time. They don't live to work, but work just to enjoy every moment of life. You can see a kayaker quietly paddling on the lake in the early morning, just to listen to the birds echoing in the thin mist. Or simply the image of an old man sitting in the middle of the mountain, reading his favorite book, not to kill time, but to embrace every passing moment, to feel the peace seeping into every cell. That is the New Zealand way of life, slow, deep, and full of respect. A lesson for those who have been too hasty in this life. There are forests in New Zealand that no one has ever set foot on, still remaining as wild and mysterious as in the beginning. Waitomo Forest, home to ancient kauri trees, over 2,000 years old, stands tall in time like silent gods, witnessing the ups and downs of history and civilization. Those giant trees do not need words, because they carry within them millennia of memories of the earth and sky. If you are quiet enough to listen, you will feel the gentle whispers of your ancestors, as if they are leading you on a journey through time, touching the soul of nature. In these forests, ancient creatures still exist, like living witnesses of a lost world. Flightless birds, giant insects larger than a human hand, all create a unique and mysterious ecosystem that you can hardly find anywhere else on the planet. The light filtering through the dense, curving canopy echoes like an unlearned language, calling your name, inviting you to join in and become a part of the pristine nature. New Zealand is more than just a destination, it is a profound experience, where you can feel life in its purest form and listen to the Earth's oldest voice. New Zealand is not just a place where you touch nature, but also a place where nature touches your soul. Standing alone in the majestic canyon of Milford Sound, you will feel your own smallness, almost frightening, in front of the vastness and greatness of the land and sky. But not because you are small, but because the vast world is too vast to be forgotten or ignored. Here, trekking journeys lasting hundreds of kilometers such as Kepler Track, Routeburn or Tongariro Crossing are not merely physical challenges, but spiritual experiences, a pilgrimage of humility and gratitude. You do not go up the mountain to conquer, but to shed tears before the moment of brilliant dawn on the deserted peak, to hear your heart blend with the sound of wind, birds, and the breath of nature. It is in those moments that you understand that there is nothing more wonderful than truly living with nature, living with yourself in a world full of wonders. You will be surprised when you set foot in New Zealand and see people here leave their doors open, unlocked, as if this world is a common home where everyone trusts each other. You will be surprised when a stranger, with just a warm smile and a sincere question, "Are you okay?" makes you feel genuine concern, a connection rarely seen in modern life. Children here are not constrained or forbidden, they are free to climb trees, learn through real experiences, from falling to lessons from the vast nature. New Zealand does not have dazzling skyscrapers, nor crowded, noisy streets. Instead, you will feel the peace spreading, gently touching the deep blue sky. Every rhythm of life here is simple, slow but profound and admirable, making anyone jealous. It is not just life, but an art, the art of appreciating simple values and preserving genuine connections between people and nature. Some people come here as tourists and stay for life. Some people come here to escape and find themselves. New Zealand is like Northwest other place, because it doesn't try to be something. It just is itself. This is a place where you can start over at 40, 50, even 70. It's a place where villages are completely self-sufficient. It's a place where you can farm in the morning, be an artist in the afternoon, and no one will judge. Imagine a city where the ocean is not just a landscape but a part of life. Auckland, the only place in the world surrounded by two oceans, the Pacific and the Tasman Sea. A modern, crowded city, but one that makes you feel light. Here, sails are not just in pictures, they fill the bays. People don't count their hours, but the number of times they sail each week. You can finish your day at 5 p.m., and just 30 minutes later, find yourself floating on calm waters, under a purple sunset, a sparkling glass of wine in hand. And strangely, underground are dormant volcanoes, but above ground is harmony, where hundreds of nationalities live slowly together, blending into this free city jazz. Then you come to Wellington, a capital that chooses not power as its symbol, but wind and art. They say it's the city where the sky sings, because the wind blows so hard you have to learn to stand still. But amidst the wind, art is everywhere. Independent cinemas, small theaters, graffiti walls where you can be an audience or an artist. A small coffee shop can change your morning, not because the coffee is good, but because the barista remembers your name from the first time. Wellington is a place where creativity is not performed, it's lived. And then you arrive in Christchurch, a city that has fallen but never collapsed. Massive earthquakes have swept away its past, but also opened up a new future. The people here rebuild not with steel or concrete, but with faith, street art, and cardboard churches fragile, yet as strong as their hearts. There is a reverent silence in the ancient cemetery. But just a few streets away, there are bustling art markets, where everyone can be themselves or a new version of themselves. Christchurch doesn't ask where you come from. It asks quietly, how do you want to be reborn? Dunedin, a city that seems to have stepped out of an ancient book, where the mossy grey stones still whisper old stories from faraway Scotland. You will clearly feel that time here does not pass, but stands still. The steep slopes seem to draw a unique rhythm of life, where each of your footsteps echoes on the stone floor as if to say, slow down, to listen to yourself. Dunedin is not just a city, it is a soul. A place where penguins still boldly walk the streets. A place where students can sit and study in the ancient Otago University in the morning, and in the afternoon climb mountains, ride waves as if knowledge and nature are two inseparable parts of a complete person. And then you come to Queenstown, a small city nestled between mountains and lakes, but the dreams here are as big as the sky. People say this is the capital of thrills. True. But more than that, this is the capital of brave hearts. The place with the most marriage proposals in the country, because the space here makes people more courageous, dare to love, dare to say, dare to start. One morning you can drink coffee in the early morning mist, then a few hours later, skydive in the air, with a flock of falcons soaring over the snowy mountains. Queenstown does not overwhelm you with noise, but awakens you with beauty that makes your heart stop a beat. If you have ever dreamed of a place so beautiful that it is hard to believe, where every scene seems to come out of a fairy tale, then it is most likely just a dream. But New Zealand is not that dream. When you set foot here, walk on the green hills, breathe the fresh air mixed with the scent of flowers and the sky, you will feel your heart slow down, vibrate with each deep emotion. New Zealand is not just a destination, but a place where you touch the feeling of truly living, where your soul finds peace and rebirth. And then when you leave this land, a part of you will always remain on the hills, in every valley, in every gentle wind. Because it is not just a trip, but a fateful appointment with the best version of yourself, the friend that you may have forgotten in the hustle and bustle of life. Have you ever had an experience that makes you feel like that? Share your story below, and let's experience the beauty and healing power of New Zealand together.